is the honeymoon period at Cardiff City now officially over. Yes, welcome back to another episode of Where Bluebirds Walk. On this 20-minute episode this week, we are talking about the manager situation. It now needs sorting. We're talking about, has Mighty and Kanga ever been so bad as they were at Sheffield Wednesday? Christmas fixtures, how bad or good are they for Cardiff City? We're also looking, of course, at the January transfer window and out-of-contract players. And the third round FA Cup is drawn next week. So who do these guys want in the draw? Welcome back, Jamie, Eston, and Lee. Welcome back, you, of course, as well. We know there's lots of Cardiff City content you could hope to watch. Please just drop us a quick subscribe. It would mean the world to us. It's so hard to grow new channels as this one is. It's now only 17 weeks old. So we really, really appreciate all your love. Right then, Jamie, is the honeymoon period over now for Rizas?
It's a hard one because I think the whole uncertainty around the football club is not helping. People may say it's an excuse and what have you, but the way I described yesterday in particular was if you don't play well, just don't lose. I just think we've got no depth for the club, like you've mentioned one of the points there, and the lack of depth is not helping the manager who really wants to implement a style of play. He did it for 6, consecutive games, and then, ultimately, I think sides are now probably waking up to that, our threats, and ultimately, I think they're probably nullifying them.
That was exactly Mark's point on social media there, Jamie. He says, Mark says it's not looking good. The honeymoon period is over. 5 points from the last 5 games is relegation form. The opposition have sussed us out. Not surprised as they're no longer unknown. Hugh at the top says that we need an actual manager. Lee, I think when me and you last spoke a couple of weeks ago, we were saying, right, Vincent's going to do him. He's going to meet him over the international break. He'll be appointed. Why hasn't that happened? We believe there was a meeting.
This is Cardiff City. It's all a shroud. It's all a mirage. We don't know. I bet Rizas doesn't know. I bet he went over there and just had a nice conversation, probably given some insurances. But yeah, there's nothing concrete about it. You can, from the press conferences that Rizas done in this week, especially, I think he's resigned to the fact he's not getting the job, but we're not being told that by the board. Rizas coming out and saying the board's going to tell us, and that's it. And the board aren't saying anything, so it carries on.
It is baffling, Eston, isn't it? Because if you're not given the job, you would like to think, well, Monday morning, there's going to be an appointment made because they've done their research. I mean, crikey, it was October, was it? Or late September, was it? Early October that the Below went?
Yeah, well, it's been over 60 days now. 60 days since he went.
What do you think should happen?
Well, whatever happens, I just hope it gets communicated by the board. We need to know now, like, whatever the decision is.
I think, Mark, there's a case here that fans obviously want to know, and that's a natural process with football. But most importantly, there's players at the football club that have vocally come out and said they like the way he's changed things around. We're now seeing, we were seeing a particular brand of football that fans were excited with. We were surprising teams. A team that was, only had 1 point or whatever it was prior to him coming in, transitioned, played some really good football, attacking, fast football. You can only imagine what that environment is like within a change room if the manager himself or the interim manager or head coach, whatever his terminology is, can say literally, I don't know myself. Part of me feels like we're getting closer to January. It's a very Cardiff City tactic that, the transfer window opens and probably our first transfer will be someone being appointed via a coaching sort of thing. But there is no long-term strategy. And now I think as fans, maybe the boys can discuss it as well. We were actually pleasantly surprised that there's players at the football club we're starting to see attacking-based football. And now it just feels like we've gone 4 steps forward and we've now gone 4 steps back. But again, it's a massive week coming up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers for that, Jamie. We'll have a look at the Sheffield Wednesday result now, the draw at Hillsborough. We're recording this, of course, before the massive midweek fixture, so we can't comment too much on that. Lee, some points for you. I'd like to get your view on here. PMR says, we're right in it. If Robinson ain't playing, we might as well put a wheelie bin up front. We've got no threats, no threats at all. We need moving on and a lone striker brought in. Is the post there correctly?
I think we've had so many lone strikers come in. We need some consistency up top. I know we've had injuries. Robinson has given us a real, attacking threat when he's there, but he's not reliable in terms of his fitness. So we just need someone who is a staple up top and consistently. It doesn't have to be goals every game. It just needs to be, providing a bit of stimulus to that front line, and that's just what we're struggling with.
Absolutely. Eston, another one on this front. Callum says, "Get Maite and Kanga gone. The worst performance I've seen in ages." And Sheffield Wednesday was one of the worst teams I've seen so far this season. They were lucky to get a point. First on the Maite and Kanga view, there are lots of tweets about this saying did nothing, don't want to obviously play for the club. What's your view on it? Is it harsh?
No, not at all, really. He's been given enough chance, especially Kanga up front. Like, I know it's hard for him coming from abroad, and he wants to give him a fair amount of chances, but he's had that now. Like, we can see that he's gonna offer nothing, and it's just our luck as Cardiff City for strikers to just flop. Yeah, and Mate, I think he's all right. I think he's decent. I was surprised to see him start, to be honest, when I saw the lineup come out. But yeah, I think he's better than Kanga.
He has played well in the last couple of weeks, Mate, to be fair to him, coming off the bench a couple of times. He has played well, so I could see why he came in, but yeah, it's still a struggle.
Okay. Jamie Bob says it wasn't a classic. It was a good point considering that we were shocking. I keep thinking that Maite and Kanga have a match-winning moment in them, and then the reality of watching them kicks in. Dreadful players onto QPR now. It's a must-win. And John also says Wednesday night is a must-win. Another flat away performance under Rizas. Yeah, is QPR a must-win, Jamie?
It has to be. I know some journalists have said at this early point it isn't one result. But I think it really is, because it is that term, isn't it? A real relegation 6-pointer. If we get the victory there, the point yesterday and the performance or lack of probably looks better, because you're thinking, 4 points from 6, especially heading into another game on the weekend. But yesterday, the points were valid. Again, I put it up on my social, was if you can't win a game, just don't lose. And it really felt like from 54 minutes onwards or so, that was how Rizas went. I mean, I looked at our bench. Sheffield Wednesday were going more attacking. They were bringing attacking players on. And we kind of brought Siopis and Joe Ralls on. And that's no disrespect to them. But when you bring a player like Siopis on, who isn't as attacking flair, you kind of play in your hand early. And again, the limited options that we do have, or the lack of quality that is there, I mean, I can only imagine you're thinking, oh my goodness, the only striker I've got on the bench there is Kanga. And when you bring Robinson off after, was it 70 or 80 odd minutes, can't remember, I think the whole bench and the whole fans in the away end yesterday went, oh, here we go. Every time he warms up, I think fans play going, please don't bring him on. Please don't bring him on.
Okay. All right, then we'll leave Sheffield Wednesday alone there. Let's look at our other points then. First of all, the Christmas fixtures, Lee. This is it's a crazy run of games for all the teams, of course, not just Cardiff. 8 games in the space of 30 days. We've already mentioned QPR, of course, Coventry City away, and then this weird double header with Watford. Lee, and I just wanted to get your view on this. Do you think some teams are advantaged or disadvantaged with depending how this kind of fixture falls, that you play the same team, in within 3 weeks of each other? Or does it not matter?
You got to play these teams twice a year anyway. And with the fixture congestion, you're probably not likely to see the same 11 for both games. So I don't think it makes a massive difference. But looking at that list of games, I'd like to think that we could actually pick up some points if we can get some consistency and get some more quality off the bench. As you say, it's a long period and tired legs. We just need a little bit more quality coming off the bench, and there are some winnable games there. So fingers crossed.
Absolutely, yeah. There's only really Edstone, the Sheffield United game at home. When you look at those 8 fixtures, that you think, well, yeah, if we take that one out, then the other 7 are winnable, aren't they?
I mean, we've been a lot stronger at home than we've been away. We still haven't won away, so you can't really say any game away is easy or winnable.
Yeah,
even at Oxford, we've just conceded 6, and Coventry, who are in the same relegation scrap as you are, even though they were playoffs last year or heading to playoffs, but this year they aren't good.
Yeah, they may have conceded 6, but they're scoring. So I don't know. They got goals in them.
Right, Jamie, what's your view on your Christmas run? Are you hopeful?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hopeful is probably the right word there. Home form, I'm not too worried on that. I think that naturally, when you've got the home crowd behind you, you could be good. But again, like we say about the lack of depth or the lack of options, you look at Coventry, they drew at home yesterday to Sheffield United. They were arguably the better side, so they're not going to be easy. Oxford have got, one of our former players up front who will probably know in Mark Harris, who'll probably like to score against us. But we haven't won away since, I believe it was Birmingham last year. So the longer that run goes on, the more of a sort of burden it becomes, whether that's tactical or whether it's mental, who knows? But, January really can't come quick enough for me, because I just feel like, we are missing some massive pieces in the team.
Okay. I wanted to also get your thoughts on the January transfer window. I'm going to start this conversation, of course, over the coming weeks. So for all of you, we wanted to start this off by having a look at the out-of-contract players, because, of course, you've got a significant number whose contract run out on the 30th of June next year. So the obvious question to you is, out of this list, and it's a long one, Lee, what do you need sorting, or who do you need sorting as a priority?
So based on current form, Willie Kanga, get him in there, get it signed, however long he wants. No. It is Callum Robinson, Callum O'Dowda. Who else? I want to see. I love Isaac Davis. Obviously, he's got injury problems. I would love to see him just given more time. And after that, Jack Annick as well, and that's my list.
Okay, Edstone, what's Lee missed off?
Nothing really. I think I agree with that.
Okay.
I've liked Winamota when he's played, because NG was suspended. So maybe he's earned it on recent showings.
Okay. Jamie?
I think Lee's hit the nail on the head there. In my opinion, there's a few too many players who are injury prone or haven't really been at it. Keona Tet, as much as I love him, and we're crying out for a centre forward. There's 2 centre forwards on that list who, for me, aren't what we need. Rinamota's a good utility player, but whether he is happy to do that, Jamalu Collins can leave. I think the manager said he's unhappy with it being third choice at the minute. But yeah, I think Lee's list is spot on. Isaac Davis, I think, is one that we all really, really hope can personally get back, because I think he offers something that we haven't got, which is just pace and a good work ethic up front. So yeah,
we have to bring it back to the manager again, though. We're talking about signing these people back, but who's going to want to stay when there's no manager, and who's actually going to get these people signed?
Exactly, and I think that's a massive thing at our football club, is the lack of identity and the lack of sort of focus at that end. We haven't got a director of football like many have, so we're recruiting based off what and who for. It's the old allergy, isn't it, that it's someone else's players. It very much feels like that our chairman is picking players off a list to fill in holes, but there's no point in picking off players if you haven't got a tactic or way of playing in. Otherwise, you're putting square pegs in round holes, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Let us know in the comments below whether you would sign any more. No one mentioned Aaron Ramsey, for example, in there as a 1-year extension. Okay. Well,
No.
silly question.
Sad times. I don't want to talk about it. Sad.
Yes. Okay. Moving on. Up next, then, next weekend sees the FA Cup third round being drawn. Now, I know every single Cardiff fan won't care too much about the FA Cup, I'm sure, given the current situation, vulnerability in the Championship. But if we were to put you in control of it, pick your draw for us. Eston, you can go first.
I feel like this is a very common answer, but Tottenham away.
Okay. Jamie? Sorry. You can justify it.
Yeah, go
on. I think I'm a stickler for the lower league grounds. Tottenham is a brilliant stadium. I went there for the American football. But yeah, I'm a stickler for the lower league grounds, whether an old school terrace, somewhere like that. Just somewhere we haven't been, because I'm fed up of drawing the likes of Preston at home. No disrespect to Preston on old Saturday night, or as it was last year, Sheffield Wednesday, which was moved to 5:30 on a Saturday night. But yeah, I think it has, in my opinion, it's more of an occasional tick off a ground on your list sort of thing than an actual result, because to be honest with you, league is the most important thing in my eyes.
Okay. Brilliant. Wrexham away then, Jamie, yeah?
They would smash it.
Lee?
I mirror Jamie. I don't want Cardiff City at home. Don't want Cardiff City playing a Championship team at home. Get us away, either anyone in the Premier League or anyone lower down. Just no one in the Championship for once.
I think we all get excited, like the Carabao Cup. Like, oh yeah, who are we going to get? And then we get no disrespect to a fellow champ. Yeah,
we all know it's going to be Preston at home.
Yeah, and then we only open one stand up because it sells about 3,000 tickets.
Yeah.
All right, of course, we'll bring that draw to you next week and give all your reaction to it. Thank you very much. Good luck against QPR.
Thank you.
Massive game, isn't it? And we'll catch you, all three of you, next week on the other side of it all. Thank you very much for watching. You know what to do. Drop us that like button, click on that subscribe button.